Hey cuties, welcome back to my channel. So I want to do an introduction video of how I figured out how to take care of indoor plants. And I want to just let you know that I was not a good plant caretaker because despite really good intentions, I didn't do any sort of research. I just thought, okay, I'll just bring this plant home, I'll water it. I don't know how to water, and then it died. So I wanted to share with you what I've learned over time to help you be able to hopefully take care of your plants. And I'm just an average plant person. I am not a professional. I didn't go to school to be a botanist. So I think if I can do it, most people can as well. I think there are three main components when taking care of indoor plants. There's light, temperature, and watering / moisture level. So with light, it is really important that you provide indoor plants with strong indoor light that's coming through your window, like a south-facing window, and or an indoor grow light. So let's talk about grow lights. You can see here that these lights, they express white light. There are some grow lights that are a lot dimmer and they only express, like for example, red and blue spectrum of color. And what I've learned is that growing indoor plants, they really need bright light. Any light that you get, you want it to be as bright as possible. So that's the purpose of grow light. It's just to make sure that your plants have that extra boost in light to help them photosynthesize and thrive as much as possible indoors. If they're an outdoor plant, you just want to get them through the winter, and then if they're a permanent indoor plant, then you want to just make sure that they get as much light as possible being inside. So I'll put a link in the description box of the Amazon grow lights that I ordered, so hopefully that will help you if you're looking for grow lights. Another component is temperature. So for indoor plants, it's probably going to be fairly consistent, the temperature. For example, in my house, it's usually between 67 to 69 degrees Fahrenheit. In terms of temperature, if you have an outdoor plant that does not do well with cold, then you can make that outdoor plant an indoor plant usually and get it through the winter so that way it doesn't die, and then you can put it outdoors again once it's warm enough. So my grow zone is 6, and that means I do get frost. So if I have an outdoor plant that I particularly enjoy, I will move it inside. So that is another caveat about temperature. Now, I think one of the most important things other than light is watering or checking for soil moisture. For most of my indoor plants, I typically water them once a week, and I try to give them a decent drink of water when I water them, and then I just leave it alone. I realized the reason why I couldn't keep plants alive before is that I would overwater them. It wants to be watered decently, and then you leave it alone. So the frequency of watering, I think, is one of the most important factors to keep in mind when taking care of a plant. If your plant's not doing well, you want to check the moisture level of the soil. And you can get these fancy moisture meters, or you can just stick your finger into the soil. If it's super damp, don't water it, because if you overwater, it can stress out the plant and can contribute to root rot. My previous video was about fixing aloe root rot, and I will link that in the description so you can click on that if you are experiencing root rot, and you can see what I did. That is why watering frequency is super important. You got to check it. Check the soil. If it's super moist, you just got to pause with watering it. and being aware of the type of plant it is. For example, desert plants don't want to be too wet in the soil, whereas other plants, they really enjoy watering, and if the soil is moist, it's not a huge deal because they'll just drink it up. Like tomatoes love water, for example. Those are the three main components, in my opinion, that have really helped me understand how to take care of plants properly. I want to break down some of the types of plants that are really easy to take care of, in my opinion, and then maybe it might help you and you can decide what you want to do. So I have here 2 plants that I have found have been just incredible, like S tier level, with being able to survive and me not having to worry about it very much. So the first one here I'm going to show you. Let me get a little closer. This is a spider plant. So I think it might be named that because of the many leaves that kind of look like legs. And actually this one, I think, is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like an inverted spider plant. So the typical spider plant has a white part in the middle and a green part on the 2 sides, whereas this is the opposite. So this is kind of a unique spider plant with the coloring is a little different. And this guy, it just refuses to give up. So it looks like it's making a flower. These are flower buds, so it might make flowers as well. And it makes a ton of babies. Look at here. So these things just pop up and these cute little babies come out, and you can actually get these to root and make more spider plants, which I've done repeatedly. So if you want me to make a video more specifically about how to make more spider plants, let me know and I will do that. So this guy, I water it once a week. It's in this tiny pot that I definitely need to repot, but it's fine. The spider plant has been in this pot for an extremely long time, probably over a year, and it's doing fine. It's still alive and making babies, and the leaves are beautiful. So this guy is super easy to take care of. If you're a new plant parent and you want to get a plant that is really easy to take care of, I would suggest the spider plant. So yeah, this guy brings me a lot of joy. I don't have to worry about it. It's not fussy. And that's the spider plant. Another great plant is the hope plant. So this is the hope plant. You'll see that it's grown quite a bit. There are these vines that keep growing. The backstory of this plant is a couple years ago, it was winter and I had I guess I could call it the plant blues, and I really wanted to take care of another plant, and the nurseries didn't really, at least at that time that I knew of, didn't have any plants, and so I ordered this hope plant online. And don't order plants online to be delivered to your house if you live if it's winter and it's actively snowing. So at the time there was a blizzard, so this poor plant comes in and it's all frozen. It was a fraction of the size. It was like maybe like the size of this guy where my hand is. It was like this big, and it was in like a tiny planter like this, and the leaves at that time, because of the frost damage, it was, I mean, if you ever look at frozen vegetables, like that's what the gist of what the leaves looked like. It was not pretty. And I had to cut off the dead leaves, and I think there might have been at least one little leaf that was left that looked like it was alive. And I was like, oh gosh, this plant's probably going to die, but I'll cut off the dead leaves and put it on the grow light and see if it will survive. And fast forward, over a year later, this guy is very prolific and he just keeps growing and growing. And these vines are very, very long, and he's very easy to take care of, very easy. So and very resilient because it almost died and it popped back up. I did not think it would survive. And the leaves are beautiful. They're these little thicker green petals, circular petals. I think they're cute looking. So if you are looking for an easy plant to take care of, I would suggest the hope plant as well. This is a beautiful plant, and the spider and the hope plants, I really don't have to worry about them, and they look beautiful. So I hope this video gives everyone a good idea of what's worked for me. Stay tuned because I'm going to show you what a section of my indoor plants look like. Hey cuties, so here is a view of a part of my plant collection in my living area, and I'll bring you closer so you can see more clearly. Got some rosemary here, and then my Monstera Thai constellation here, and then an assortment of a lot of other plants. I'm not going to be able to name everyone, but this guy here is my banana plant, and he's been with me for probably a couple years by now, and it's winter right now, so I moved him indoors and he's doing pretty well. He's putting out a new leaf, if you can see at the top over here, right there. So this is an overview of some of the plants that I have at my house, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!